remember. We went into town, all but the driver up in the back laughing and shouting, having a good time, real friends. When we got to the hotel, it wasn't much, but I was the only one that gave a room. My friends, they turned to me and said, go ahead, get a good bath. They had camped out of town. Excuse me, dear. Your son, Reverend Doss, he reminds me of that. Because I wish I would have done what he would have done. Because Donnie would have walked out with his friends.
I don't know, Mr. Johnson, but I'd certainly like to walk out with your daughter.
Well, it's perfectly fine with me, son.
Then I don't have to go back to that school?
Well, you ought to finish up the year you started, but I suppose if you and Donnie still feel the same way.
If we still feel the same way.
I expect that's the time to consider something a little more formal than going steady.
Meanwhile, you wouldn't care for an old beat-up class ring?
Donnie.
Hey, Mom, should I plug in the shoe lights?
I'm beginning to feel like it more every minute now.
By the way, Dad, are you reading us a story tonight?
Please? I'm sure the Johnsons would be very interested. Yes, they will.
Rita, call your brothers from the kitchen.
Here I go.
Ooh.
Thank you, son.
Here you go, Daddy.
Dear, can you get my glasses?
Sure.
You see how it actually works out down here?
For me, Dad, but what about you? No one coming? Maybe the church board?
We'll have the faith of a mustard seed.
Here you go.
You remember that.
I'll remember.
Do you hear singing? I think I hear it.
Yes, certainly.
I wonder why.
Where will they sing?
It's getting closer.
There's only one person in the world that knocks like that.
Ted, would you please open the door for Mrs. Parkinson?
We're here as a special committee.
We haven't seen much of you around lately.
We've been too busy. We've had to take action.
You mean because of the last time the Johnsons were here?
Yes, certainly. When we heard about what happened, we called a special meeting of the church board.
For what purpose?
To make things more attractive here for you and your family.
More attractive?
So you'll accept our invitation. So you'll stay with us. When we heard what happened, we knew we had to make some real improvements. And they agreed unanimously the moment I told them. I told them our minister, his sweet wife and dear children, they've all been introduced to a diet of snakes.
But I thought those newspaper
You
stories...
have no control over what newspapers print. And neither have I, unfortunately.
But why all the secrecy and the whispering?
We were so afraid you'd find out about a surprise.
Surprise?
We've been practicing these carols. We want to show how we feel about the Dawsons.
But we'd like them to come in.
First we're going to sing, then we'll come in for your dinner party. When you hear what we planned, you won't consider leaving us. Not ever. Excuse us, we have to join the rest of the carolers. Ladies,
Kiss this party.
We're here to cover a story about a wedding.
oh no.
You two, huh? Here for a story? You can't just barge into some man's house and demanding a story. We're here celebrating an innocent holiday. There's no story for you here. Now get out! Didn't you hear me? I said get out! The both of you! Move it! Skedaddle! Hey, my friend!
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Don't mention it.
Daddy, the story. What about the story? I'll read it right now, Laura. Right now.
Wait a minute. Wait for the popcorn.
No, All salted and buttered.
Help yourselves. Delicious popcorn. Everybody. My popcorn. Okay, Dad. We're ready. All of us.
All of us. The entire family.
There's a part of the Christmas story, and I think of it sometimes. And behold, I'll bring you good tidings of great joy. But I suppose I should start at the beginning. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went out to be taxed, everyone into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem.
Woo! Yes!
Flowers out. Okay, Aaron, whenever Joey comes out, Joey, get ready, because when they come out, you run the flowers up to him, okay? When you see Joey comes out there, you go up there, okay?